Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Voodoo here, and I am on time this week with the weekly ritual, which is always exciting when I'm able to do it on time because I'm able to get you guys up to date information as quick as I can in order to begin the week. So I am on time this week. It is Sunday. It is March 16th already of 2014. I don't know where the time is going. We're already halfway through March. It seems like we just started March, but that's the way it is. So, happy early St. Patrick's Day to everyone. I'm going to be wearing my green tomorrow. I'm going to be wearing that Leprechaun Lucky Charm shirt you probably see me wear on many of these videos tomorrow. So I'll be in the spirit. But yeah. So anyway, welcome to the weekly ritual, and this video comes directly after last week's ritual because I did not upload anything this past week after the weekly ritual, which I will begin to explain. I had laid out several things I wanted to do last week, but I did note that I was not going to have much time to do filming this past week, and turns out that the one day that I did have time to film this week, which I think was a Wednesday, I actually had, I haven't, said this on camera before because it really hasn't been necessary, but I've been fighting a recurrent infection that I've had for about 3 weeks now, and it was on and off again. So every time I was ready to go see the doctor, the symptoms would go away, and then a few days later they would come back, and so eventually I just decided to get myself in to see the doctor. But I had the symptoms of this infection recur on my one free day of that I was able to film, and although it wouldn't technically impair me to play the game. When you're sick or when there's something wrong with you, no matter what it is, you don't feel good. You don't feel right. You don't feel energetic, like you want to do commentary or stuff like that. Even if your sickness doesn't impair your ability to do it, if there's something wrong with you and it's something that's been going on and off for 3 weeks, you just don't feel good and you don't feel like doing any footage. So that's kind of what happened on Wednesday. I did get myself in to see the doctor. I did get a prescription of medication that I'm currently taking to hopefully completely get rid of this infection that's been on and off, and I can get back to, kind of being normal and not dealing with this. But yeah, the Xbox One thing, it didn't actually take place. Chris never did bring his Xbox One this past week, and I'm not exactly sure why I didn't bring it, to be honest with you, but he didn't bring it. When he brought over games, he just brought over his 360 and played some games. So I didn't get hands-on with the Xbox One this week. I may, later in time, but it just didn't happen this past week, so there was no Titanfall stream or anything like that, obviously. And the only other thing I said I was going to do this past week was my question and answer series, episode 2, Voodoo's Mailbag. It's now being called. Again, didn't get around to doing that. Pretty much what I was planning on doing was on that Wednesday, play More Point Lookout, and when I was done, film Voodoo's Mailbag. Because I felt bad that day, I didn't do anything, and so I just wound up not doing anything this whole week. And then I went home this past weekend. This past weekend was quite interesting, actually. I guess quick story time. I have a friend named Gerald that I have been friends with since as long as I can remember. He grew up across the street from my grandparents, and I used to spend every Friday of my childhood at my grandparents', and so we became friends. And he's, I think, 4 years older than me, but we've been friends longer than anybody I've been friends with. He's, extremely close friend to me. And this past weekend, he actually invited me to go to, if you're outside of the United States, you're probably not going to understand this. Even if you're in the United States, you may not understand what I'm talking about. But the collegiate conference of the Sun Belt Conference. It's not a major conference like the Big 12 or the SEC. It's what they call a mid-major conference with some smaller Division I schools. The Sun Belt was having their basketball tournament over this past weekend. This was the weekend where all the college conferences were doing their championship basketball tournaments, and the school that he graduated from, which is University of Louisiana Lafayette, about an hour and a half away from LSU, was in the tournament. And so he invited me to go to the tournament with him this past weekend to watch his team play. And his father is actually the president of the board at the university. So obviously he has immense connections because he is more or less the overseer of the university. And so because of that, we actually were able to get VIP access to the whole tournament. We had courtside seats for the tournament. We were able to go into the VIP room in the tournament and get free food, all this other kind of stuff. We had special wristbands and everything. We came there today. Today was actually the championship game. The ULL wound up winning the championship. So I went to the game Friday, Saturday, and today on Sunday. I went to all the games. They won the championship today. We get to the seats today and they have our names on the seats. I mean, it was crazy. So basically that's where I spent my whole weekend, was being pampered and treated like a VIP at the Sunbelt tournament. You know, we got to go to the locker room and meet all the players, and we got to go on the court to celebrate after the game today, and it was pretty cool. Met, you know, the players, and they actually have a projected first-round NBA point guard named Elfrid Payton, and he is supposed to be, you know, he's projected to be a mid-first-round NBA pick if he comes out this year for the NBA, and, you know, I got to shake his hand and everything. Really cool. So it was a fun weekend. It was not how I anticipated my weekend going. This was kind of something that just randomly happened, and but it was cool. It was fun. So that's how I spent my weekend. But anyway, just quick story time. So going into this week, what is the deal? Well, this week there's the new release, obviously, of Infamous Second Son on Friday, and we're gonna get to that. But previous to that, this week, what am I gonna do? I am planning right now on the gameplay this week being me trying at least to complete all of the Fallout 3 DLCs. That's what I'm going to try to do this week. Get through Point Lookout and then Mothership Zeta and Broken Steel. That's my goal. Now, I was supposed to be here this weekend to start Infamous Second Son, assuming I got the game on Saturday. Well, I completely blanked, and I don't know how. I guess I just wasn't thinking about it. But the NCAA, you know, National Men's Basketball Championship starts this upcoming weekend. And I've mentioned this several times before, but some of you probably don't know. But my grandpa and I are huge supporters of the University of Kansas's basketball team. My grandpa graduated from KU, and so since I was very small, we've been watching the basketball games together, and it's kind of like he and I's, you know, thing that we do. It's, you know, he and I have always watched the games together. We've been very passionate about the program, and you know, I love being able to spend time with him like that and to share that, you know, that bond. It's really neat that we have that connection. And so they're playing their first game on Friday, and if they win on Friday, they're going to play on Sunday. So I'm actually not going to be here this weekend. I'm going to be going home in order to watch those games with my grandpa. So even if I get Infamous Second Son Saturday, I'm not going to be here. I'm leaving again to go home Friday, so I will not be here to record. So what that means is that Infamous Second Son will not begin this week, and I apologize for that, but again, this is my hobby. Other things take precedence, like spending time with my family, and that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. So this week, gameplay-wise, it's just going to be the conclusion, hopefully, of the Fallout 3 DLC. If I don't beat them all, hopefully I will beat at least a couple. So that's what's going to be this week. So if you like the Fallout 3 DLC content, good for you, fun week. If you don't, I apologize for that. This is another skip week for you as far as gameplay goes. Now next week, I'm going to be playing a lot. Next week on Monday, I don't think we're going to be doing Outlast tomorrow Monday, because we have a lab report that's due at 6 p.m. tomorrow night that I know Chris and I are going to be working on all day tomorrow up until the deadline, and then we have class till 9. So I doubt we're going to be playing Outlast tomorrow, but next week I'm going to try and get us to play some more Outlast next Monday, because I want to play more of it. It's been a long time, and you know, we're slowly getting through the game, but I want to play more of it. So I'm going to try to play more Outlast Monday of next week. Then Tuesday of next week, episode 2 of Burial at Sea comes out. And I am planning on that day, that Tuesday, to do a full playthrough of episode 2 from start to finish and upload it on next Tuesday. Which means Infamous Second Son is going to start next Wednesday. Alright, I know it's late, obviously, but it's not the first time I've been late with something. That's the earliest I'm going to be able to get to it, because I want to play Burial at Sea Episode 2 more than I want to play Infamous Second Son. So, that's going to be the way the schedule pans out next week as far as gameplay. Hopefully Outlast Monday, maybe, maybe not. Tuesday, for sure, Episode 2 Burial at Sea. And then beginning on Wednesday and going until I beat it, basically, is going to be Infamous Second Son. That's next week. So I just wanted to put next week into perspective for you guys so that you understand what I'm thinking. Again, this week, gameplay, it's going to be Fallout 3 DLC. I will also be doing Voodoo's Mailbag Episode 2 this week. That is going to be happening this week, alright? So don't worry about it. Actually, this lab report that I have due tomorrow is pretty much the only major assignment I have due this week. Pretty much everything else is just going to class. It's one of the easiest weeks of the semester, actually, because I have this big paper due, but then I'm more or less free for the whole week. So, I should have some time to get in some gameplay. Definitely do Voodoo's Mailbag Episode 2. That's not going to be an issue. And then I will post a video, for your questions for Episode 3. And that's basically it. So, that's what's coming up over the next 2 weeks. And, after those 2 weeks, we'll see what's on the horizon. But, I just wanted to let you guys know why there wasn't any footage last week, to let you guys know that I am on medication, getting, hopefully completely over my infection. I do have a follow-up doctor's appointment next week to go back and check with him to make sure that everything's going how it's supposed to go, and by him I mean the doctor, and that is what it is. But I should be back to 100% health-wise here very soon, which is good news. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually excited about playing more Fallout 3 DLC this week. I really had fun last weekend when I made that run on all the DLCs. I really had fun, and I'm excited to get back to it. And of course, next week I'm very, very excited for Episode 2 Burial at Sea. I'm also very excited about Infamous Second Son. Finally, a brand new major PS4 release that we can really get our hands on and experience. And I'm looking forward to it. So I hope that you guys are looking forward to it. Once again, this week, Fallout 3 DLCs and Voodoo's Mailbag Episode 2, Burial at Sea Episode 2, and Infamous Second Son begin next week. Alright, so thank you guys. I hope you have a good week. Have a good St. Patrick's Day. Wear your green tomorrow, don't forget. And I'm Voodoo, and I will see you later. Peace out.